I stared at the screen, my vision blurring. The news anchor was gushing. Dr. Malcolm Thorne, the visionary CEO of TerraGrow, accepts this year's Innovator of the Year award for his revolutionary Hope Seed, which single-handedly pulled the global agribusiness giant from the brink of collapse. He lifted a golden trophy, a smirk playing on his lips, holding a single, perfect green seed between his fingers. That seed was my life. My name? Arthur Vance. I'm 48 years old, and until recently, I was a botanist so reclusive. Even my own company didn't know what I truly looked like. My journey with TerraGrow began almost 2 decades ago, back when it was a struggling research firm known as Green Solutions. I was a junior botanist then, fresh out of my PhD, brimming with idealism and a passion for plant genetics. We were a small team, a family really, driven by the shared dream of ending global food scarcity. My mentor, Dr. Anya Sharma, used to say, "Arthur, our work isn't just about crops. It's about hope." In 2010, after years of painstaking research and countless failures, I had my breakthrough. A new hybrid seed, remarkably resilient, capable of thriving in diverse climates, and yielding harvests far beyond anything commercially available. It wasn't just productive, it was sustainable, requiring less water and fewer pesticides. We called it the Hope Seed. The company, on the verge of bankruptcy, embraced it. It worked. Within 5 years, Green Solutions, rebranded as TerraGrow, became a titan and agribusiness behemoth. The Hope Seed made them billions. For years, I continued my research, delving deeper into the seed's genetic potential. What no one knew, not even Dr. Sharma, was that during my initial experimental phase, I had engineered a unique, non-harmful marker gene into the seed's DNA. It was a fail-safe, a genetic signature, dormant and completely invisible under normal conditions. My own little secret, a signature in the very fabric of my creation. I never thought I'd need it. Then, 3 years ago, Malcolm Thorne arrived. He was a corporate raider, a shark in an expensive suit, brought in to streamline operations after TerraGrow's founder retired. Thorne saw numbers, not lives. He saw profit margins, not the hungry mouths our seeds fed. His first major move was a cost-cutting initiative that resulted in the firing of the entire original research team, including Dr. Sharma and myself. He even purged the archives, replacing all our research papers with new ones bearing his name. My name, the true architect of the Hope Seed, was erased from every document, every patent, every historical record. Thank you for your service, Dr. Vance. His HR goon had said, handing me a severance package so paltry it was an insult. Dr. Thorne believes in fresh perspectives. Your specialized knowledge is no longer required. I walked out of TerraGrow, leaving behind 18 years of my life's work, my intellectual property, my legacy, all stolen by a man who couldn't tell a petunia from a potato. I didn't fight. My nature was always to observe, to understand, to solve problems with logic, not confrontation. But something cold settled deep inside me. I retreated to my small, isolated cabin in the foothills of Colorado, a place where I could still cultivate my own little garden, away from the corporate lies. I started a small organic farm, growing heirloom varieties, finding solace in the honest dirt. But the news of Thorne's accolades, his smug face splashed across business magazines, gnawed at me. My wife, Sarah, a gentle soul who'd always supported my eccentric passion, saw the fire in my eyes. "What are you going to do, Arthur?" she'd asked, her voice soft. "I don't know," I'd replied, "but I won't let him get away with it." One evening, while idly browsing obscure botanical forums, I stumbled upon a private section, TerraGrow alumni, The Purge. It was a secret online community, a digital support group for all the brilliant minds Thorne had discarded. Dr. Sharma was there. So were dozens of other scientists, engineers, and agronomists, all victims of his ruthless ambition. He's cutting corners on the nutrient coding. Dr. Sharma's post read, dated 6 months prior. The Hope Seed isn't as robust as it used to be. The new coding, Thorne's Resilience Boost, is cheaper, but it's missing a critical micronutrient. It won't show for a few years, but when it does, it will lead to widespread crop failures. My blood ran cold. Thorne wasn't just stealing credit. He was risking global food security for a few extra percentage points of profit. He was defrauding farmers and investors, setting up a ticking time bomb. I ran diagnostics on some old seed samples. Another former colleague, Dr. Lee, posted, "The DNA is identical to the original Hope seed, but the new coating is definitely substandard. It's a slow burn disaster." Suddenly, the pieces clicked into place. Thorne had stolen my creation, yes, but he hadn't fully understood it. My marker gene. It was still there, dormant, waiting. I spent weeks meticulously analyzing every bit of information on the forum, cross-referencing it with public patent filings Thorne had made. He had indeed cut the essential micronutrient, replacing it with a cheaper, less effective filler. The crop failures would be catastrophic, but gradual, allowing him to shift blame for years. I didn't need to expose him with legal documents or whistleblowing. I had a more elegant, more botanical solution. I began to formulate a simple, organic soil treatment. It contained readily available ingredients, things a farmer could find at any agricultural supply store. The key? A specific enzyme blend that, when introduced into the soil, would trigger my dormant marker gene within the Hope seed. It was harmless to the plant, harmless to humans, completely undetectable by conventional means, but it would produce one undeniable visual effect. My plan was simple. I wouldn't fight Thorne. I would make the truth bloom. I started anonymously posting my miracle formula on niche farming blogs and forums, calling it Nature's Catalyst, unlocking the Hope seed's full potential. I provided detailed instructions, emphasized its organic nature, and highlighted how it would supposedly boost yields and resilience, which, in a twisted way, it would, by revealing its true creator. The farming community, always eager for an edge, began to adopt it. It spread like wildfire through word of mouth. Free, easy, and promising. No one suspected it was a Trojan horse. 6 months later, the next global harvest arrived. Farmers, delighted with what they thought was a groundbreaking organic booster, applied my formula en masse. And then it happened. My phone, usually silent, began to buzz with frantic notifications. News alerts. Social media feeds exploding. The headlines were unbelievable. Global harvest mystery. Hope seeds sprout unnatural blue leaves. TerraGrow shares plummet amidst blue harvest phenomenon. Farmers worldwide report bizarre crop mutation. I went to my small greenhouse and picked up one of my own Hope seed plants, grown using my formula. Its leaves were a shocking, vibrant sapphire blue. It wasn't harmful. The plant was perfectly healthy. The fruit completely normal. But the color, it was my signature. My dormant marker gene, now activated, painted across billions of plants for the entire world to see. It was unmistakable, undeniable proof that someone had tampered with the core genetics, or rather, had designed them with a secret. The ensuing chaos was glorious. TerraGrow stock plummeted. Farmers demanded answers. Regulators launched investigations. And Malcolm Thorne? He was everywhere, sputtering denials, blaming environmental factors, sabotage, farmer error. But the evidence was global, simultaneous, and overwhelming. Every Hope seed plant, regardless of location, now carried my indelible mark. That night, my phone rang. It was an unfamiliar number. "Dr. Vance? This is Richard Sterling, chairman of the board for TerraGrow. We need to talk. Urgently." I drove to TerraGrow's headquarters the next morning. The building, once a monument to Thorne's stolen success, was now a hive of frantic activity. People rushed past me, faces grim. Thorne himself, looking pale and disheveled, was being escorted out of his office by 2 grim-faced security guards, clutching a box of personal effects. He didn't even see me. Sterling, a man I vaguely remember from decades ago, met me in the boardroom. "Dr. Vance," he said, his voice strained. "We just terminated Malcolm Thorne, effective immediately. The blue harvest has exposed an unprecedented level of fraud and malfeasance. The board, we reviewed the original patent filings, the suppressed research. We know the truth. You are the true architect of the Hope seed." I just nodded. "We need you, Arthur," he continued. "We need you to fix this, to explain the blue leaf phenomenon, to restore trust, to save the company you built. We're offering you full control of our research division, a seat on the board, and a formal acknowledgement of your original patents. I looked out the window at the cityscape, feeling a quiet satisfaction blossom in my chest. Not anger, not even triumph, just a profound sense of rightness. I have some conditions, I said. He leaned forward, desperate. Anything. First, full transparency. All original research, all credit, fully restored to my team and to Dr. Sharma. Second, a commitment to sustainable farming practices, not just profit. And third, I paused, a small smile finally touching my lips. I want personally oversee the development of the antidote to the blue leaves. It's quite simple, really. Just needs a specific enzyme to revert. I designed it that way. Sterling's relief was palpable. Done. All of it. Welcome back, Arthur. It took months, but the blue harvest became a symbol of corporate accountability. Malcolm Thorne was hit with multiple lawsuits for fraud and endangering global food supply, facing a lifetime ban from corporate leadership and potentially criminal charges. He tried to claim he was just following company policies. No one believed him. The blue leaves, my beautiful silent proof, made sure of that. I returned to TerraGrow, not as an obscure botanist, but as chief scientific officer. Dr. Sharma was reinstated as my second-in-command. Together, we worked to develop the simple organic spray that would neutralize the marker gene, returning the hope seed's leaves to their natural green. The process was broadcast globally, with me, Arthur Vance, explaining the science, giving full credit to my original team. One evening, I received a small package. Inside was a hand-carved wooden plaque. To Arthur Vance, the true visionary. It was from the Global Farmers Alliance. That, more than any corporate title or award, was my true reward. Years later, the scandal faded, replaced by TerraGrow's renewed commitment to ethical, sustainable agriculture. The blue leaf became a legend, a reminder of the quiet botanist who outsmarted a greedy CEO with nothing but science and a well-placed secret. I often wonder what Thorne was doing, languishing in disgrace. But it didn't matter. My work, my legacy, was not only restored but amplified. And every year, as the global harvest matured, I knew that beneath the green of every hope seed plant, my blue signature still lay dormant, a permanent, beautiful reminder of the truth.